Hello, and welcome to our series of Ghostlight stories. The Ghostlight is a long-standing theatre tradition, and one which has become particularly poignant this year. By leaving a single bulb burning on stage whenever a theatre is empty and dark, we light the way for friendly spirits and keep them happy and contented. The light is also a symbol of our intention to soon return to the stage. For us, the light represents creativity, collaboration and community, an energy which can never be dimmed. Despite a year of closures and lockdowns, here at An Táin, a light will always shine, ever ready to welcome our players, our audience, and even our ghosts. Today's story is about the Blue Anchor Inn. There was a man called Sharkey who used to spend his days working on the railway. Sharkey, who was a sociable sort of fellow, spent his nights drinking and telling stories. He was in the habit of frequenting an inn at Ballurgan by the name of the Blue Anchor, and it was one morning after spending the previous night being sociable, drinking and telling stories at that place, instead of arriving at his work after breakfast, he arrived instead after lunchtime. When the overseer called him to account for his tardiness, this was the excuse he gave. He said that he was on his way to work, taking the path he took every morning. He heard voices rising in excitement coming from behind a hedge. Curious as to the source of this unusual commotion, he looked over the hedge, and much to his surprise, he saw some fairies, who seemed to be about to begin a game of football. The fairies were in a heated discussion, and as Sharkey listened, he discovered that one team of fairy folk had no goalkeeper. The team captains were discussing the problem, as if a replacement was not found, the game would have to be abandoned. Who, they asked, who would be the goalkeeper? They all turned to him at once and said, who but Sharkey? So he played goals for the fairies all the morning. His height, when compared to the other players, gave him a great advantage. He saved shot after shot, and when the final whistle blew, his team had won the match, and all the fairies milled around him, calling out his name. And it was on account of this, or so he said, that Sharkey was late for work. So join us on December 20th at 7 p.m. live on our Facebook page, where we will light up the windows of An Táin Arts Centre with images from this story and many others, as part of a unique visual arts project by Maeve Clancy, which will invoke the spirit of the Ghostlight to connect with our community at a time when we have to be apart. We share a visual interpretation of folk stories of Louth, passed down through generations in the tradition of storytelling by the fireside. Legend and light spilling out our windows, shadows of stories dancing on the streets below.